What if there's another lockdown? What if there is a World War III? What you're gonna do? What's your plan? Here in this video, I will share what I would do, where I would place my bases, where I would like to have residencies, citizenships, banking, and how I would hold my assets in a way that I can be more protected and navigate a world that is gonna be much more closed. So, well, you can go back to 2020, and I believe that was just a tiny experiment, a tiny simulation of what can happen. Something I like is having bases in different continents, because countries, yes, it's good to diversify between different countries. Of course, different states. You can have a home in Quintana Roo, in Mexico, in the Riviera Maya. You can also have a home in Mexico City. But even better than that, it's having a home in Tulum, and then you can have a home in Central America, let's say Costa Rica. You can have a place with waterfall. There was a gentleman that he bought a place that included the waterfall and the river. So he basically bought the mountain. You can do this type of things in countries like Costa Rica. Another one, I would say, Brazil. There are two places. Number one is Florianopolis. It's in the south cone of Brazil. That's a very safe place. It's safety like level of Europe. Amazing, amazing safe. And I know that because I've been there for over a year. So I know it really, really well. The other one is Paraguay. You know, if you follow this channel, you knew that I would say Paraguay. Why Paraguay? Because it's the land of the free. It's a place where you can literally enjoy freedom. You know, you are not controlled. In Paraguay, you pay 0% taxes if your money comes from outside. It's a territorial tax country. So the country of the zero taxation on a personal level, the salary, the dividends, the capital gains, forget about all of these things. Oh, do I need to report my crypto on ramping? Forget about it. Paraguay is much simpler. The accounting is like for kids. Easy, easy. You have the right accountant in Paraguay, you're good. This type of accountants, you know, there's this meme that says, you go to the accountant and say, oh, 2 plus 2, how much is it? And the accountant says, how much you want it. This type of magicians that they know the law so well that they make it work for you. Okay, the income, your expenses, etc. So this is possible in Paraguay. And the good thing about Paraguay is you can buy land as far as your eyes can see. Literally, you can buy hectares of land in Paraguay. So that gives you the ability of having food sustainability. Remember, in this apocalypse world or this lockdown, you want to have quality of life. I'm thinking about having cattle, having my hens, my chickens over there. I'm thinking about fruit trees, vegetables at will, and having somebody manage that for you in Paraguay could cost $300 to $400 per month, if of course you also provide the accommodation, so the person is taking care of your farm, is taking care of everything that you've got, food production, can live there, but it's damn cheap. So I would protect myself with some security. I would have weapons, something that you can buy in Paraguay, especially if you are a permanent resident, a temporary resident, or you are a citizen in Paraguay. It's so easy to get weapons. You can buy whatever you want. So you can be fully armed in there, have ammunition. You can even build a bunker. You might be thinking, oh, he's nuts, Miquel is nuts. Well, I'm talking seriously. Like, there's people in Paraguay, projects that they built, or in the process, still not built, but almost finished, bunkers. So in case of bombs or whatever it is, they can just go under the earth. So that's so interesting. It's always in the back of my mind. So I would like to have a residency where, in case it's just simple lockdown, not any threat to my survival, I would say, cool, let's have a villa in Tulum, let's have a villa in Mexico City, a place where it's safe, but it's nice, you have a lot of things. Then the more apocalyptic situation could be Paraguay, as I mentioned, the bunker. Remember that it's in the south cone, so it's more difficult to be in the middle of any war, let's say in the United States. Then other countries, I would consider Europe, of course, but it's tricky. Where in Europe would you place yourself? Because if you go to Poland, if you go to Germany, if you even to go to Spain, it can be a little bit tricky to be there. Gibraltar is a place that it's really interesting, the infrastructure. When I was there, you have a video in the channel talking about Gibraltar and the fortresses and how they kept this war scenario, this stage there, it's still everything preserved. It's interesting, but I would consider for sure a European citizenship. I'm not that sure about a physical place in Europe because I don't see it as a safe place, as safe as Paraguay or, as I was mentioning, other places in Latin America. But I would get a European citizenship as soon as possible. Why? Because these are the best passports in the world. If you see the ranking of passports, the Spanish passport, the French passport, the Italian, even the Portuguese, these are great passports for mobility, for visa-free countries. Also, if you want to have access to China, in case you wanted to refuge yourself in the middle of nowhere in China, similar scenario of Paraguay, but in China, in land, just like big piece of land in these countries, could be Southeast Asia as well, a villa, have food production, cattle, you could be there. And another, funny enough, you can have a digital residency in Palau, which is an island close to New Zealand, between Japan, New Zealand, all that area in Oceania, that if you are a digital resident of Palau, which is in the Web3, you know that it's one of my digital residencies. Out of the 7 that I have in 4 continents, one is Palau, and it allows you to live there for 183 days with most of the passports. They extend 90 days more to your current entry. So that would be an interesting one, because there you're going to be safe. Again, the only issue with Palau is that they need to import and export a ton of things, and it's not an easy airport to reach, but in case you needed to seclude yourself, Palau would be interesting. Then for banking, I would want robust banking. I would want a Panama bank, that it's part of the setup that I usually recommend, and you can see other videos in this channel. Also the United States, if Chase Bank, JP Morgan, if they collapse, something big, something really damn terrible is happening in the world for JP Morgan to collapse. So yeah, they say insured, the FDIC, $250,000 are insured. Hopefully, for all of the people that have money in that bank, hopefully there's no corralito like in Argentina. So people don't want to withdraw the money from the bank and they don't have the enough reserves. But the thing is, I would keep money in big banks. I would consider the UAE as well, where billionaires and some trillionaires keep their wealth. Also, because, for example, for assets, seizing the assets, for example, Romania, Europe, it's a place where they will more easily seize your assets, but if you have cars, if you have mansions in Dubai, it's going to be more difficult to take them. It's a place that will protect the wealthy more. So, of course, don't be a criminal, but in the sense of, okay, something wrong is going on in the world, these places have a ton of money and their security is going to be high, so you have strong military that can protect, and you can have some safety in there. That's what I think. At least I would have something in the UAE. Put in the comments, what do you think about this? What are the pros, the cons? What am I missing? What's my blind spot in here that I'm not foreseeing in this strategy that I'm sharing with you? But also, if it makes sense, share it below. Let's make it a conversation. This is going to be a polemic video and I love it. I like to share my raw ideas and see it, have this discussion with other brilliant minds from other chess players that are strategizing 5-6 moves ahead. Another thing that I would have in mind is have a friend who is a pilot. Sometimes you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this base and this base, but alone you're gonna die. Lone wolves die. So you need friends, you need a strong brotherhood, a network, that you have an ability, you have an ability, you have an ability, and all together we protect each other. For example, I know a gentleman in Alaska, and he was saying, man, whatever something happens, I know how to survive. I know how to build a cabin, I know how to hunt, I know how to survive in nature for a week if it's necessary. I know how to fish, know everything, all of these things. So you want this friend next to you. Also, he might want me as a friend, somebody who can make money online out of thin air like this. Somebody who has connections in 17 different countries with partners around the world, tax immigrations, officers, lawyers, accountants. That's what I'm saying. The community that we are building with my company right now, all the clients that we have, they're savages. Like, these are smart businessmen with connections, with money. They know what they're doing, and that's something that I love. It's a byproduct of helping them, that we are all gathering together in a group. So you want a strong network. Could be mine, becoming a client, becoming a member, could be some other, but have friends with abilities like a pilot that can fly you, have a license. For example, there was a gentleman during the lockdown in Canada. He was trapped there and he wanted to go to Mexico. So what did he do? Look at that. He hired a pilot that had a license to travel across the border with a private jet. Not all pilots have that license, which means that he could have traveled among Canada or Mexico, around Mexico, but not cross countries. He'd go through the United States, go to Mexico, etc. So he found a pilot, paid for the private jet, and that pilot got him and his cars, 3 supercars, down to Mexico. So he could enjoy his lifestyle in Mexico during the lockdown in 2020. Imagine that. Because one thing is having money, but if you don't have the network, you don't have the power, you don't have the resources, Why do you have zeros in your bank account that's worth nothing if you are trapped in your compound? Safe, yeah, but in a lockdown. You'd rather have money and friends, trusted brotherhood, somebody that's gonna have your back when things go south. So this is something to keep in mind. Because I see these influencers, these other videos in YouTube saying, yeah, do this, get this residency, get this passport. Yeah, but what about the human resources? The strong men, capable people, emotionally self-regulated. They're not gonna be, oh, there's this lockdown, what am I gonna do? Let me take the vaccine. People that think, people that know the context, people that can get papers, people that can get border permits to enter, to leave the country, that can fly private terminals, helicopters, you want that. So, if you are this individual that want to be surrounded with men, strong, capable men, able of anything, the difficult done immediately, then you are welcome to, one, follow this channel, see more videos like this, but also click the link down below and you can talk to us. You can be like, hey, I'm interested in what Miquel said in this video. Mention this video. My team is gonna know about it, is gonna support you and tell you what's the best way that we can start partnering together. Maybe we can do something for you, get your passport, get your residency, get you a bank, get you this land in Paraguay. We have real estate contacts in Mexico, in Paraguay, in Panama. You can also store gold in Panama in a safe vault that it's completely independent from the government, that it's much safer than just boring a hole underground and putting your gold bars in there. So if you want access to this contact, to this network, well, reach out to us. We are here to support each other. Again, I know that alone I'm gonna die, just gonna be destroyed if there's an attack, a global lockdown. So that's why I'm supporting and connecting with men. That's why also I shoot these videos, because if you are strong, capable men, powerful, you have resources and you have something to offer, we want you in our community as well. You are welcome. Of course, we're gonna vet you. We're gonna qualify if we are a good fit, but if so, you're gonna find more men like you inside. This is Miquel Gironès from Tulum. You have to be prepared. You never know when the bomb is gonna explode, but you'd rather be prepared 1 year sooner than 1 day later. And that's what we're doing here. Be extraordinary, adeo. And for other videos on what you can do to prepare yourself, your portfolio, your assets, check this video over here.